Hello everybody, I'm Yoshi ZZ, or Yoshi ZZ, doesn't really matter, but you can call me Zach. I don't know how to drive because I'm 15 years old, but I do know how to make some pretty damn good music. That's gonna be what the series is about. Now, I know it's been a while since you guys have seen me, my face. In fact, I looked on my channel, the last time I even used a webcam was 3 years ago. So, you guys saw the title. This is a new thing. This is a new series. Okay, yeah, cool. What is it about? This new series is gonna be a never seen before concept anywhere in the entire world. You've never seen it before. Basically, this series will be an online journaling of music stuff that I do. I mean, I have like 2 albums out right now and a single, which is a cover, but also a single, whatever, same thing. And I've realized like I'm obviously not a big artist at all. I'm a very young person, so I realized like it would be fun to just like make videos showing how I do this stuff, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a disbelief that all this stuff on here is stuff that I have made, but it's a very fun process of making this music. And yeah, I think it would be cool to make a series showing off how that's done, whether it be with songwriting, looking into the project files themselves, which is what this video will be, and yeah, more to come. I think I'm also wanting to implement some more personal stuff into here. It's going to be a music journal. Journaling will also be a big part of it, because I mean, also, come to think about it, like things that happen in your life, it plays a big part in your songwriting as well. So it's still kind of about music in that way, but I'm planning to share some like things going on in my life too, you know. Making this like a full on series, you know. There's gonna be maybe a video or two every week. That's the plan. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, with that being said, let's go into the first video in this series, which will be a project file run through of a song on my album, a very special song called Too Nervous to Speak. I'll see you at the end. Hello, hello, hello. So, I'm just gonna film a little video inside the DAW. This is the project file for Too Nervous to Speak off of Simple Paradox Brightside. Thinking of starting a series where I do a bit of a deep dive into my music, like how it's made, some behind the scenes stuff. Everything is digital, so I don't really have any like videos of me like recording my vocals or anything, because that was the sort of thing, like I literally recorded all my vocals for almost all the songs in just one take on a glass of water at 2 a.m. So I don't have any footage for recording these, but I do have the project files, of course. And yeah, all this is done digitally. All the instruments are in patterns. And yeah, if you've seen a video from a producer, you've probably seen something like this before, if they work with FL Studio. So I'm just gonna walk through the song, show you guys some stuff. I'm gonna see if the volume is equalized. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, the intro here. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. The intro here is just a WAV file, and that was because the thing is with some of these plugins, those are all the audios. These are all the plugins that I used. Jesus Christ, look at all that. And this plugin, FL Slayer, great plugin, absolutely amazing plugin. The only problem with it is it's severely inconsistent. It is so inconsistent. It uses so many samples, and I don't know how the plugin is constructed, but it's like not like any sort of sound font or anything like that. It is very inconsistent in its sound. So the reason why I have a pre-rendered intro, yeah, you would say pre-rendered for this too. Like that's a 3D graphics term, but whatever. Yeah, so I have this pre-rendered audio clip here because I thought the intro just sounded perfect in this rendering of the song, so I just wanted to keep it this way so it wouldn't change in further renderings. So yeah, that's why this is just an audio clip. But, yeah, I think I'm going to turn off my vocals for now, since the instrumental is the sort of juicy part of this song. Yeah.
yeah, let's just walk through the stems. So we got what is this? I think the bass. No, that's the guitar. Again, the plugin is really inconsistent. The guitar track probably doesn't sound exactly like this on the album cut because it's just an inconsistent plugin. It's why I've changed to FL Zando now. On my Idiotech cover, I don't use FL Slayer at all. It's just too inconsistent. S4 Zando is a plugin. I'll just show it off here. Where do I got it? Right here. It's a plugin that relies. No, it's a plugin that relies on like sound fonts and stuff. And I have this guitar sound font collection thing. And yeah. By the way, that message that popped up makes me want to say another thing. Don't ever pay for any of my work. If there's an option on like Bandcamp or whatever for you to pay for my songs, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't give me money. Why? Because I'm not even making these songs on a legitimate copy of FL Studio. I'm making this on very illegitimate cracked software. So don't pay me because I'm making this stuff illegally. I probably shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, I'm getting sidetracked here. I don't use FL Slayer anymore, but I used it on basically the entirety of Simple Paradox Brightside. Let's look at another stem. Whoa. So again, FL Slayer is so good. Like, that was a chunky ass guitar. And that's on the power chord setting. I'm going to take a look at my mixer too because there are a few things that I want to mention here. This plugin right here, Hardcore, possibly the best thing in FL Studio if you want to make stuff that sounds really rock-like. Because, well, just for reference, yeah, here's what the rhythm guitar sounds like with Hardcore. Here's what it sounds like without Hardcore. Let's do transition. You hear just how much better that sounds? I don't have any way to put it. And then obviously there's a sound equalizer, which just adds more pronounced. It just makes the sound more pronounced, which is especially good for something chunky like this. We'll move on. Here's the next stem, which I think is the bass. Oh my god. Ooh. Now the bass. The bass is something I'm a little conflicted about on this project. When I first discovered it, I was like, because again, where is this? Insert 3. This is all with Hardcore. Literally the only plugin on my mixer. And I just use distortion and a compressor so the notes don't peak that much. And just listen to it. You have not ever heard a thicker, fatter bass than that digitally. Try to prove me wrong. But this thing, like, I had a brain blast when I like first came up with this. I was just fooling around with Hardcore. Let's do another comparison. This is gonna be crazy. This is what it sounds like without Hardcore. It just sounds like generic boo bass from FL Studio, but if you do the transition, oh my god, it's insane. But then I kid you not, after the album released, I made like I'll just be completely transparent about it. I made like a boss theme playlist, and I was just adding a bunch of songs that were being recommended to me, and I added a song by 3 Days Grace, and I think it was called Break. And I was listening to it, and I was just like, oh my god, I accidentally copied their bass tone. I hadn't even listened to 3 Days Grace at all up to that point. But I was listening to their song, and I was like, yeah, I just stole their bass. Sorry. I mean, it's good bass, though, you know? But yeah, here's the drum track, which something I should probably mention for the drums. It is all fake, but also all set up by me. This is what it sounds like by itself. I don't really know how to show it because like all the other ones are obviously set by notes, but these are just set by notches, and it's kind of hard to tell. So here's the kick, here's the hat pedal. They're all named, but I'll still go through it anyway. Hat pedal. This snare. So I have everything. Does it cut off on the recording? Oh, it does. Okay, I'll just kind of. There we go. So, on the side here, you can see I have the preset things for the drum kit. I handpicked all these samples, and I think for the kick and the snares specifically, I laid out those myself. The snare, that snare is two snare samples packed onto each other with I think some effects. I don't remember, but yeah, you could see it used to be called All That Lies because that's a prototype name for Simple Paradox. Never came around to it, but yeah. Left crash, ride crash, which specifically in this song I don't usually do it, but I only use the ride crash sample instead of just the ride, or I don't know if the ride bell counts, but yeah. So here's what the drum track all sounds like with the fills and stuff. I'll just go through like 2 measures. So again, all digital. The only reason this sounds anything like actual drums is because I play actual drums. So it's just structuring from experience. I think this is a synth. Oh my god. I keep surprising myself. I haven't checked up on these project files since I released the album. But yeah, this synth, it sounds drastically different on this song specifically, but what's the destructor? That's what it is. I'm sorry I keep talking over the playthroughs. I really hate when producers do that. I don't know if this was intentional, actually. Probably because it's so messy, but I like to add a bit of humanization when I do stuff like this, especially for synths, because it makes it sound more trashy. But you can see the notes are just slightly syncopated off the line. And that's a thing that everyone should do for a lot of things, like especially like guitar, digital guitar and stuff. But yeah, this synth, let me show you this synth. So it's a 3.0, let me go back, please, thank you. So this is a 3x oscillator. Yeah, that's short for oscillator. 3x oscillator. These are my settings there. Without effects. I think it sounds different in this song than the sort of generic album sound. I'm gonna be showing off other songs off the album, by the way. Don't worry about it. But yeah, here's what it sounds like without the destructor, which does the main work. Transition. Yeah, it's basically just a saturator. But yeah, sounds so good in this song. I think this is, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a chorus piano. I forget there being a chorus piano in this. That's interesting. Yeah. So I just use a, does that show on the recording? Yeah. So I just used a chorus effect here. Sounds very boring without it. I don't care, Butterbean. Can you tell I don't know music theory? Yeah. Again, there's humanization on it. It sounds like trash because I've added the manual syncopation, and it's supposed to be like that. And why not? We'll do the vocals. We'll look for the vocals. So here's what the vocals sound like at the chorus.
For Africa, well, she blooms effortlessly. What do I gotta shout? I'm too nervous to speak. For Africa, well, she blooms effortlessly. What do I gotta shout to get that confidence?
So yeah, the vocals were undeniably the most complicated and difficult part of this album. One, because it was my first time ever doing vocals for a project, like professionally. Two, I still wasn't confident with my own voice. So, okay, it was a combination of a lack of confidence, and also I just really wanted to use hardcore on my voice because I used it for everything else, basically, for most of the tracks on the album. So I was like, okay, what if I put hardcore on the vocals? And I did not regret it. That just sounds good. But yeah, there's so many configurations here. You can see I was messing with the volume. This is a very slight chorus effect, and yeah, that's just distortion. By far the most complicated thing, I actually use an EQ. Holy shit! Here's what it sounds like with and without. I'll do a transition.
Well, she blooms effortless.
Yeah, without the EQ, you can just hear the blow. You can just hear that. Sound goodizer, I think it's pretty universal what it does. It just makes things sound more saturated and more better. Here's what it all sounds like together. Alright, you can listen to the album if you want to hear the full thing. Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning. I don't know if producers talk about this a lot, but recordings from inside the DAW sound a lot different from what the songs actually sound like on the record because of something called mastering. Mastering is a very complicated process. I'll show off what it looks like here. Yeah, sure. I just let the thing do it for me. Enable Master Effects. That does all that does all the hard work there. These are my settings, by the way. It's just generic WAV settings. Nothing special about that. But yeah, here is the verse where it's yeah, it's just the super blocky synth and whatever this is. I'll check up on it when we do stems. Alright, let's go over the stems. So, again, we got that synth with the guitar. Yeah. Thought it would be cool to have like the pop instead here and there. Here's the two-noter. Oh, that's so amazing. And then the bass. Oh, something special about this song that I don't do with any other song on the album. It's a little tambourine. It just sounds funny. That's the only reason why I did it. It just sounds funny.
So lovely, better put down your doubts. These thoughts were often stated before he...
Wow, the instruments do a lot of heavy lifting though. But yeah, here's a transition to the chorus.
So easy.
Let's go over that. So the guitar comes in fully. So does the bass. Here's the drum fill. Again, it's really difficult to show off what it looks like, but here's the blocking for it. Oh, I should show off what I do here. So, I have two snares. I have two snares on almost every song, just for the sake of variety. But what I do is I add a flam effect to them. You know how I do that? Just more syncopation. So I add a note like just almost right in the middle of 2/16, I think. Yeah, these are 16ths, right? I know a bit of music theory. But yeah, just like almost in the middle but just not quite, so it still sounds human, and it gives it a flam effect. Okay, in this example, it's more of like a triplet roll. But yeah, there are examples where I use like a bit of a flam effect. I think no. Where do I use a flam? Oh, here. So, you can see, yeah, just right off the middle, you know? You hear that? It's not just one hit, it's two. And that was done by layering the two snares over each other. You can see on here, it just looks like they're on top of each other, but nope, just slightly syncopated. That was just something I wanted to mention since it's a cool little thing that I do a lot on the songs on here. What is this? Wait. I think that's actually a bug. Believe it or not, it looks like I missed something before I released the song. Oh boy, the piano doesn't actually make a sound because I cut it off before the notes happen because I put way too much humanization, as you can see. It's supposed to sound like this on that drop part. Oops. It's supposed to sound like this. Something like that. But oopsies on my end. Then it's just the chorus again. I think the part that we really want to check in with though is the bridge, I guess you could say. So yeah, there's this piano fill before. Here's this big fill though. Oh no, right here. So that was done using volume. You can see it down here. Just like a velocity control on the drum keys. And then we got this piano here. Same piano that we've been using, except you can notice that I added a little slide here. Oh my god, that's so fancy. Oh, okay. Yeah, but then I think the drums are the highlight of this part. Yes. And everything else is just kind of one-shot hits on a 1-4? No, one. I don't fucking know. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is 1 and 4. Yeah. Just cut the bass here. My bad. It's this part. I remember I had a huge brain blast when I came up with this part. I'm just gonna let it play through. Probably, at least in my opinion, one of the most beautiful parts of this album. I'm gonna just let it play out. Just kidding, you don't get drop privileges. Yeah. So, obviously, this is a foreshadowing for Home, which was, fun fact, Home was actually only the second song I made for the record. I did not plan for it to be the closure, but after I made it and I just kind of brain vomited out the solo for it, I was like, holy shit, this is like some Weezer Only in Dreams shit, you know, like this has to be at the end of the album. And I had a completely different plan for the end of the album back then. This was like last year I'm talking about, like November probably. But I've completely forgotten it by now. Probably not as good as Home. But But yeah, let's isolate some of these stems here. So we get the crunchy guitar, but a lot softer now. There we go. But yeah, we also get the, oh my god, the pad. Or sorry, this is not a pad, these are strings. Yeah, I just use a chorus. It actually doesn't do much on this. I think it's relying on sound good as there mostly. But yeah. And then the piano, obviously. And then it kicks in. Notice I have two crash I have two crash samples just to make that impact that much better. With the original drum track. And that's crazy. But yeah, here the strings are even louder. Then we bring in the synth. I think the synth does a lot of the heavy work here. God, I forgot how beautiful that was, just by itself. And then I think, yeah, there's piano again. Bass. Nope. Rhythm. Sorry. Notice the power chord setting on FL Slayer is really weird. And again, inconsistent. Notice how this C sharp sounds pretty low, but then the F that is clearly lower than it sounds higher, and then the G that is higher than the F still sounds higher, but like higher than the C sharp. It's weird. And this is only on the power chord setting. If I change this to strumming, well, not only does it sound really lame, but like, I don't know. It's weird plugin. Weird plugin. Here's the bass. It's like a sort of modified version of the original home bass line. And then, yeah, the normal light guitar. Oh boy, the solo. All the solos on this album are kind of just brain vomit, I've got to admit. I do not remember the thought process I had while making these. It was just literally a sort of thing where it was like I was placing down notes, just like, damn, this sounds good. Place another one. Damn, this sounds really good. Place another few. And then I suddenly have a whole entire solo, and I'm ascending off of my chair, and I have to drop back in the studio. Sometimes I fall over and hit my head. It's a process of blood and tears making these solos, so I hope you guys enjoyed it on the album. But yeah. Let's listen to this triplet stack here. Oh, that sounds terrible. It sounds terrible by itself. Let's include the arpeggiated part. Yeah, this is an example of how the instruments sound a lot better together, because this that isn't cutting it by itself, but with this, suddenly it sounds like ear-bleeding mess to I'm in heaven. Now I can kiss my ass all I want about this solo, but like just everything layered up. What is that? I think this is a Solaris guitar. I did not use these much on the album because they just don't sound that great. And they have a lot of release. compared to like it holds the note for a lot longer. This is on insert 1. Okay, I guess we could do a comparison hardcore with hardcore and without hardcore since it's a new guitar. Yeah, honestly, kind of sounds like ass without the effects. Like, at least FL Slayer sounds kind of good without the effects, but this guitar, I'm glad I stopped using it and I found better things, but... Notice how these ad-libs, they have the title, "Too Nervous to Speak Ad-libs I Forgot to Do." Yeah, I improvised these last minute when I was finishing up this song. This is already at almost 30 minutes long. For like a... How long is this track? I'm gonna check the Spotify. I'm too lazy to... I could just look at the fucking project. What am I doing? Yeah, 30 minutes for a 4-minute long song. So, yeah, here are the... ad-libs, if anybody was curious. They're kind of quiet in the final mix, but yeah. All I need, all I need. Tambourine. Oh, shit. Okay, no tambourine. I went a little flat there. All I need, I need, all I need, all I need. Here we are. I like that. This is something I do on the album a lot. It's supposed to simulate like a slide down the fretboard. Obviously, it's kind of difficult to simulate that with literal blocks, but you know, you do what you can. And then yeah, it just ends up with these final sting. Yeah. And then the voice lines here. Big props to my friend who voiced Sadako. Yeah.
So yeah, do you ever wanna...
I'm a lesbian.
What?
I don't like guys.
I know what it means, but I mean, alright. Sorry, I gotta go.
I made it. I downloaded the Apple sound effect just for this song, but yeah, again, big props to her. Great job. And that's the song. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Again, I kind of mentioned it at the start, but I think the instrumentals are the most special part of this album, at least for me. Well, first of all, I did all the vocals like last minute, and like the whole process of recording the vocals, making most of the lyrics, and then putting them into the project took like a month. I have a really weird work process where I kind of procrastinate doing other things for the project for like the year that I give myself to do it, and then the actual really important parts like lyrics and stuff I just do really efficiently during the last month. Technically it isn't irresponsible scheduling wise, but it's also just kind of irrational. That's besides the point though. Yeah. If you guys want me to upload some of the instrumentals or something, maybe I could do like a deluxe edition or something. That's been something I've been planning for a while with this whole entire project. But yeah, if you guys even just want me to upload them independently, then that would be... Yeah, I think that would be really cool, because I think the instrumentals are the most important part of this entire album. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for sitting through and watching with me, looking over the project files. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.
I changed my headset. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Suggest more ideas for more songs you might want to see run through of, just some, like, just ask me questions about how I do this stuff, you know, because that's the whole point of this series. You know, I kind of want this to bring us all together and reunite, or not reunite, unite a bunch of like young musicians and stuff, even young just creative artists like me. You know, ask anything you want, really, and you know, give me more ideas, maybe some sort of things you want to see me make. I think it would also be cool to record me making something live. That would also be pretty nice. So yeah, give me ideas, post whatever you want. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.